Hello students, today in this video we are going to learn about probability. Now, what is probability? Before learning what is probability, we will go through these given statements. Okay, so see, it will probably rain today. I doubt that he will pass the test. Most probably Kavita will stand first in the annual examination. Chances are high that the prices of diesel will go up. There is a 50-50 chance of India winning a toss in today's match. So this all carries an element of uncertainty. So whenever any statement which carries an element of uncertainty, we talk about probability. Okay, we predict and we talk about probability. So that means probability is about uncertainty. Okay, so it has been extensively used in the physical sciences, commerce, biological sciences, medical sciences, weather and forecasting. So these are the applications of probability. Now we'll learn about probability. Here it is given about some of the renowned mathematicians. So you go through this one, like the book and the publisher and also the who wrote the book. Okay, the author of the book is given there. You just read this all because there might be a question from here. Now when we toss a coin, okay, we know while we toss a coin there are two chances. We might get two results, total of two results, that is it might be a head or it might be a tail. Okay, so when we talk about probability, we talk about how many talk about the probability of getting a head or a tail. So the first part, okay, I'll just give you an idea about how exactly it happens. This one, the probability of occurring an event is the number of trials in which the event happened and the total number of trials, or we can say that this one. Before that we have to know, while say tossing a coin, I'll explain this one at first. While tossing a coin, we have a total of two outcomes, total. Okay, this is total. Okay, now you need the probability of getting a head. Okay, remember what we need to do, we have to at first say head and tail, and total we have 2. So probability of getting a head, what it will be. So what you need to do, we have to write this total, that means total number of outcomes below here. Then remember probability is always a fraction. It can be converted into percentage, it can be converted into decimal, but as a whole it is a fraction. Okay, then while tossing a coin, we know only one coin, we know how many heads are there. The possibility of getting a head is 1. Okay, so this is the answer, that means the probability of getting a head is 1 by 2. Same way the probability of getting a tail, there are total of 2, head and tail, so total will write always below, and the number of head and tail, that means number of tails while tossing a coin, how many are there? 1. So their possible outcome is 1. So the probability of getting a tail is 1 by 2. So both half chances. Probability of getting a head and a probability of getting a tail is half. If you add, you will get 1. So always remember the total probability. The total probability, I am writing like this, is always 1. Okay, like you can take the example of a die. A die, like the Ludo, the die, we can say that one. It has how many numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So there are 6 numbers. We know it is printed there, 6 numbers. Now what we need to do, we say we are asked to find, so a total of how many numbers are here? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total number of outcomes is 6. Okay. Now you are asked to find the probability of getting a 6. So the probability of getting a 6. Now for that what you have to do, you have to divide it by the total. Total, we know total number of outcomes is 6, so we'll write 6. And how many 6 are there in a die? We know there is only one 6, so 1. So the answer will be 1 by 6. Now if you see, likewise it will happen for all. Say probability of getting a 1 also, it is 1 by 6. Okay, probability of getting 3 also, it is 1 by 6, because they are on 1 possibilities and the total is always 6. So what we can see, all having 1 by 6 probability and total there are 6 numbers. So if you do it, you will get 1. So the total probability is always 1. That means like this: probability of getting 1, probability of getting 2, probability of getting 3, probability of getting 4, probability of getting 5 and probability of getting 6. Okay, so we can write like this also: the total probability is 1. Now if you see here, all have the same probability. So if all have the same probability, then we say them to be equally likely. There are equally likely events or equally likely. Okay, if they are not, say if it is biased or we favor one more result more, then it will not be an equally likely event, or it is not equally likely. Like say if your examples are given here, you see a coin is tossed 1000 times. Okay, now we are tossing a coin 1000 times and we are getting how many head? We are getting head 455 and tail 545. Now probability of getting a, say here you are asked to compute the probability of getting a head. So what you need to do, the total number is 1000, so below we have to write 1000 and probability of getting a head is 455. Probability of getting a head is 455, so it will be 455 by 1000. So you can convert into decimal also. And the probability of getting a tail, it is given here 545 by 1000. Now if you add this one, probability of getting a head and probability of getting a tail together, if you add, you will get 1 as the answer. So the total probability is always 1. Likewise this one, no heads, 2 heads, 1 head, no head. So the total is 500 times. So probability of getting 2 heads is 105 by total is 500. Probability of getting 1 head is 275 by 500 and probability of getting no head is 120 by 500. So if you add it, you will get the total probability to be 1. So that always remember, the total probability is always equal to 1. This one. Okay. Whatever it may be. Now this you have to note, very important part, that the total probability is always the sum of all the probability is 1 and the total probability and the probability always lies between 0 and 1. Now if the y it is 0, see we have talk about throwing a die 4, 5, 6. Now what will happen if I'll ask you probability of getting a 7? You know the total below you will get 6, but the number of here you will not have any 7 here. There is no 7 in a die. So that means the number of 7 in a die is 0. So the answer will be 0. Okay, and say the probability, say the probability of, here you are checking as say the probability of sun rising in the east is always 1. Okay, so that is an certain event. You have to remember that one, that is a certain event. If the probability is 1, then it is a certain event, and if the probability is 0, it is an impossible event. Like we got that probability of getting a 7 in a die is 0, so that is an impossible event, so the probability is 0. Okay, that is an impossible event. And the probability of sun rising in the east is, it is an universal statement, universal truth, so the probability is always 1, so that is a certain event or sure event. So that is why probability of any event or probability of anything always lies between 0 and 1, and remember, they can be equal also. When they will be equal? They will be equal to 1 when it is an sure event or certain event. When it will be equal to 0, it will be an impossible event. So that means between 0 and 1, all those will get in fractions. Okay, 1 by 2, it can be 1 by 500 also. So all those values will lie between 0 and 1. It will take the value 0 and 1 also. Okay, so that means if someone will ask you, is this is a probability, say 2 by say 12 by 3, so it is not a probability because the number is more than 1. Okay, and probability cannot be negative also. The probability can never be negative, as it cannot be less than 0. So probability can never be negative, probability can never be more than 1. Okay, but you can express, it is always in a fraction, but you can express it into a decimal or percentage or anything you require, but not negative. Okay, thank you. We'll head on to the exercise, or if anything has to be given, I will put another video. Please go through this video and try to understand. Thank you.